you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. I have to say, as a disclaimer, I'm a former employee of LISCONT also, so this project has personally also a place in my heart, and I feel very happy to see these new developments and see that things are going well and are moving on. Also, Takargo being a partner of LISCONT, it's also good to be here to share my perspective on the rail side of the business and how can we can grow together and to increase the hinterland of the Lisbon port. Okay, I'll share my presentation. Okay, I think it's so. Briefly, the idea is first I will make a quick presentation of Captrain Group and Takargo. Then I will zoom in a bit to the LISCONT operation. So what are we doing currently in LISCONT? And then to share with you first some medium long-term perspective in terms of the new developments we have in the rail business, both from an infrastructure and operator perspectives, and to share my view on the future of LISCONT from the rail side of the business. So how can we grow the hinterland and bring more cargo to the port of Lisbon, and to obviously to LISCONT in particular. So regarding Captrain, so Takargo since June this year is part of Captrain Group. Captrain is one of the brands of SNCF, the French rail incumbent in what concerns freight. So Captrain is part of RLE, Rail Logistics Europe, which is the division of SNCF dedicated to logistics. So besides Captrain and Fret SNCF, which are the railway undertakings, Fret SNCF obviously more focused on France, and Captrain as the international brand for the, let's say, new generation railway undertakings of the group. We have also other business areas related to freight, namely a freight forwardage, some motorways, rail motorways with VIA, and a combined maritime transport business with Navio and Cargo. In what concerns Captrain, we are all around Western Europe. Takargo is the smallest company and the newcomer in the group. And mostly we are dedicated to rail, to traction and to railway operations. As a group, we are the second largest in Europe in this business, and obviously the first in France by historical reasons. Takargo. So we are a Portuguese company that has a safety certificate for Portugal and Spain. So this means we can run trains both in Portugal and in Spain. And since the beginning, we were specialized mostly on cross-border operations. So our main focus is trains that cross from Portugal to Spain or vice versa. This was the mindset in the beginning when the company was created around 2007. So the rolling stock that was chosen was already adapted to operate in both countries. The company already got the certificate in both countries, and we targeted mostly operations that have this profile. So cross-border operations with large clients. Normally we just do block trains. So one train is managed or is as one client, one contract, one train. So not multi-client operations, and with origin or destination in Iberia. You have our numbers for 2021, just to give you an idea. The good news for 2022, they are better, so we grew a little bit. We have for 22, 20 million revenue, roughly 110 workers. We move around in Portugal 2 million tons and 1.2 million kilometers made by our trains. We operate both in conventional freight business, let's say traction. So we are traction providers for several clients in several areas, like containers. Obviously, we work with Newport and with other companies, namely shipping lines. We transport cement, steel coils, wood, so several operations as a conventional traction provider. And we also have a bit more complex operations, intermodal operations, where we manage the door-to-door operations with clients. We manage some terminals, some west and first mile with road, and some warehousing also. These are more complex projects where we obviously have always the rail, but we add some additional logistics and some more complexity to the operation. On the left of my slide, you have a scheme of what we are doing today. So this is made in a way it looks like a passenger network, no? But you can see that on a weekly basis, we go all around the Iberian Peninsula. Our trains run in Spain, in Portugal, and all this diversity of origin and destinations. We can do it with a lot of flexibility. So for us, it's quite simple to prepare a train this week to run next week between Portugal and Spain, whatever the origin and destination. So we're quite flexible and adapted to this type of project. Also, you have to have an idea on the importance of the international business. So you see that graph, the blue part, which we call Ibercargo, it's pure cross-border operations. 55% of the tons that we move are international, let's say, and 45% are only inside Portugal. Okay, zooming in a bit to Newport and LISCONT. So Newport is one of our clients. Currently, we are doing mostly operations between Leixões and Lisbon, or between Figueira da Foz and Leixões. So now focusing a bit more on Lisbon, what we have it's between 3 and 5 weekly round-trip trains connecting Leixões to the port of Lisbon, mostly LISCONT, but also the other airport terminal, Sotagos. These are trains, unfortunately, considering the current limitations in terms of train length, there are 54 TEU trains. This will be improved in the near future with some of the investments that are expected, both from the Newport and the Portuguese infrastructure manager in terms of the railway network. And also say that we have here some flexibility to adapt the current service that we offer to some additional stops. For example, we can, if the market demands, if our client Newport requests, we can do additional stops, for example, in inland terminals in Alvaro or in Entroncamento. This is what we are doing today. But I would like now to point some of the short-term opportunities I see with our current setup in terms of operation. So the first important message is there is space to grow. If we look at the current infrastructure, even with some of the limitations it has, there is space to increase the frequency, the number of trains to LISCONT. So there is a capacity. Also, in looking a bit at what we do as an international railway undertaking, there is potential, and it's quite easy, I would say, to set there is potential to develop international rail connections and to target the Spanish part of the western part of Spain, so including Madrid. I see it's from an operational perspective, it's not difficult to launch a train from Madrid to Lisbon, and I see this as a short-term opportunity for this project. And I also I speak of Mérida, Valladolid, but it can be other destinations. It's here. I'm not really worried on this part. I'm just trying to say that we can go to Spain easily by train, and this can be done. And also looking a bit at the current project of LISCONT and the expansion. With these investments, we'll have a bit more efficiency in terms of loading and unloading of the trains, and in terms of limitations to train length. And this will be important in terms of train efficiency and the number of TEU we can transport with the current infrastructure. Just one picture of our trains entering the LISCONT. You see in the back, you see LISCONT cranes in our train arriving. And looking a bit into the future, so I would point out two important drivers for the future, and that are linked to the expansion of LISCONT and to the future potential of LISCONT. One is from a public perspective. Currently, Portugal is under an heavy investment plan in terms of improvement of its railway infrastructure, especially in the north and south corridors that are the main corridors to connect to Spain. We have the north corridor. Currently, the main line, which is Beira Alta line, is closed for improvement works. It will open in 2024. And in the south corridor, between Évora and the border in Elvas, Badajoz, it's now under construction, a new line that will also be ready roughly I think in 2024. And those two lines will increase significantly the efficiency of the trains, the transit time and the length of the train. So it will be an additional source of competitivity for Portuguese ports when you look at Spain, and obviously to LISCONT. Also, I don't make any reference here, but we have an additional project that is critical to Lisbon. Is very important. It's in the investment plan 2030, which is the connection of the Cascais line, which is the rail line that passes near the LISCONT terminal. The connection of this line to the rest of the Portuguese rail infrastructure. This I would say it's a bit more delayed than this Ferrovia 2020. It will certainly take more time, but when done, this will be very relevant for LISCONT, because to significantly improve the crossing to the terminal in an urban area, as you could see, it's one of the limitations of the terminal, and this will allow the terminal to receive much more trains, and to avoid the current limitations we have in terms of the time for crossing, because we have some periods of time during the day where it's not possible to pass from the center of the city, let's say, to the inside the terminal, and this will be solved with this project. Also, from a private perspective, and focusing more on the CAP train and on the private operators, we have a significant investment plan in terms of rolling stock. Already in Spain, they are running several new locomotives, powerful, very, very efficient locomotives, electric, adapted for both for Portugal and Spain, but there is still some technical limitations from the Portuguese side. So this will be solved in the next 3 years. And when it is solved, we'll have significant increase in terms of operational capacity, with new locomotives, very competitive, very good traction effort capacity, to this project, and to support the development of the terminal and of the rail operations. Now, looking a bit at the future and sharing my perspective on the LISCONT project. So, looking at the other presentations, I think it was already clear that the natural conditions of the terminal and also the heavy investment that is being made in terms of port equipment for terminal operations give to LISCONT conditions to extend its hinterland into Spain. Let's say we can now discuss if it's more into Madrid or more into Extremadura. Well, there is for sure a high potential to extend the hinterland of the terminal with this new cranes, with this deep sea terminal. For sure, you will be able to get new direct services, and direct services are the critical point to extend the natural hinterland of the port. However, to do this, and considering the specificities of the terminal, so it's located inside the city of Lisbon, for sure it will be necessary to rely on trains to move in and out of the terminal much of this new cargo. Also looking at the current worries on greenhouse gases, on the carbon footprint, it's obvious that the train is, I would say, one of the best solutions to move the cargo without a big footprint. So also looking at this from this perspective, train will be for sure a partner in the development of the terminal, and also from a cost perspective, for longer distances, and considering also the current limitations in terms of the availability of truck drivers and on the ever-increasing cost of road operations, and with these new investments we have in the infrastructure and in equipment, I would say that rail also from this perspective will be a major partner to LISCONT to expand its hinterland into Spain. Obviously, Takargo is now a partner and wants to be a partner of Newport on this project. We are also available to invest and to commit in bringing more cargo, in making more trains to Lisbon. And we see this project as a big opportunity for us also from a business perspective. Also a challenge, obviously, we need trains, we need a heavy investment in the terminal, but we also need to look at inland terminals and to specific locations where we can, as Fernando mentioned with the example of Elvas, where we can receive and gather cargo to send it to Lisbon and from Lisbon to the world. Okay, I think this is my presentation, and thank you very much.